and all that stuff. So what's up?
Good, man. Good. Thanks for jumping on. I'm just gonna just go through some questions and just
Totally.
I'll chop it up on TikTok and just kind of get everything hyped up. And then if you want to promote your podcast, or we're just start too. We're just start with your podcast and how you got into that, and then
Okay.
we'll go from there. So
Sorry, my background's trash. I'm sitting in my backyard because the kid's running around and she's 5 and it's fucking chaos.
oh yeah, I hear me. I got a 4-year-old too, so energy
It gets
for
better,
days.
bro. It gets better. It gets better. I promise.
She's good though. I was like, hey, I'm gonna talk to my friend. We're gonna do a podcasting because she knows podcasts. So she's like, okay. So right now she's watching some YouTube in her room, which is
yeah, cool. No, and that's I'm not for. I've never been one for like letting the TV raise my kid, but like letting them. It's every once in a while you got to give them something to watch because it builds their interest skills. Mm-hmm. It builds their coping skills, like their suspense coping skills. Like when they watch a show and it has a season finale, like they can't just watch the next episode kind of thing. I got to break them in the hard way, like we learned.
Yeah, yeah, the week to week.
I'm telling you, dude, the kids today with fuck, dude, don't even get me started on streaming and the fact that you don't like, dude. Okay, like what we're going to talk about in WandaVision, the fact that you only get one episode a week.
Yes,
like that's genius.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought so too. I love that they did that. I thought that was just absolute genius, just for the fact that they thought, well, we're only going to release one because if we give them all, we're going to binge it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would have binged it that
you know
night.
What happens when you binge? You feel fat. you feel fat and lazy later. Unsatisfied, frustrated, regretful. It's a whole thing.
We could start with that too, because I was very interested in the week to week because I haven't felt this connected and like a show that made me wait. Right? Not since like Game of Thrones. Like, did I wait? Like, oh, what's happening next week? We wouldn't have gone the theories and all that, like at all. We would like just binge it, and that wouldn't have happened.
The theories is what leads to the show's popularity.
Yeah. Well,
you know how many fucking videos are out there? Just theory after theory after theory after theory of every show, and it's like,
oh yeah. They noticed like the diamonds on the wall, like you see those 2 diamonds.
Yeah, the hexes, diamonds, all kinds of things.
I was like, dang.
Some of them are pretty off the wall. Some of them are pretty off the wall, but some of them I've seen. I've been following this one guy, and his theories, like every once in a while he hits one like just on the money, and there's just something that will have thought was crazy, and he'll go, remember this, and he'll play a video and be like, oh, I think it blah blah blah, and he'll go ta-da, and so it's pretty cool. But it's impressive. It builds the anticipation, like building a theory and knowing that you're days away from finding out if you were right or not. Like that's that, dude. That built, I think, so much for Disney Plus as far as not just WandaVision, but dude, Winter Soldier coming out in like 2 weeks. That's gonna be huge as far as next week, right? No, 16.
Yeah, that's right. Next week.
That's 10 days.
Okay, give or take.
Math.
but so it does both, right? It does both because I was super excited to hear like what's gonna happen. I mean, they had theories from plants. Agatha gave Wanda a plant. And then there's a plant background, and that's the plant that Sparky ate, and the plant the comics represent this. So they got real deep into it.
And it's all supported. Like there's always something in there that supports it.
Yeah. But then you get the overhyped people, right? Why didn't we get Magneto? Why didn't we get Pietro was just a throwaway character. He had nothing to do with the outcome of it. And
well, I wouldn't be so much like, okay, for example, like you got the text I shot you. I said, where the fuck is Woo's Witness? Like they built up this whole thing. Like he's mentioned multiple times. Woo's got this missing witness. I still don't believe the Russos and Feige and Favreau and all those guys. I don't believe them. I don't think Ralph Boner was really just Ralph Boner. I don't think that was real. I think they knew what they were doing when they fucking cast the guy. They didn't just accidentally cast him and go, oh no, it's too late. No. And yes, I get that. He can't be Woo's agent anyway, because first off, that everything he did violates, like they said, part of the code of being in witness protection. Like you're supposed to live low key, on your belly. You don't go to baseball games. You don't go to sport because it's the jumbotrons, like legit. And the fact that you could be on TV now, they're like, dude, we don't need some mafioso Norteño killer monster guy, gangsters or whatever, to see you alive when we faked your death. We don't need it. So it's definitely not.
I don't know. It'd be kind of his
witness.
character too, though. It would be his character to just be like, "I'm fast. I could go here, and you would never catch me."
That's true. I could always get away.
They do things like that, though. They do this whole show for me was a bridge, right? It was like we're gonna build this TV series, and we're gonna connect Monica with Captain Marvel too. We're gonna
and they did.
The small character of Darcy and Jimmy Woo. You see them again in Ant-Man, you're gonna lose your mind. You're like, oh, I love these guys, and it's just
like they'll have been doing something, like they'll have been investigating something, and it brings them to Ant-Man or whatever for help. Like they're like, hey, can you help your Avenger guy friends?
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it's meant to do, and I think we got a little too big, hit a little too like too far into what Marvel is kind of unraveling, but they're doing it smart. They're doing it slower pace, and
they're trying to introduce little bits at a time, just like they did with Iron Man, then Thor, then Captain America. Like they introduced it, and they're like, why break the formula? Now we just have to adjust the business model to fit stream, and we'll be good. And so hats off to them for seeing that and realizing that's what needed to be done, and then actually finding a way to do it. Because, like you said, it opens up so many shows. Like if Disney were to come out tomorrow and say, hey, we're going to do an X-Files style show with Darcy and Wu, and no one would have a problem with it. Everybody would be like, that makes no fucking sense legal wise. No reason why the FBI would be partnering with the civilian, but you know what? Fuck it. We're down. So I could totally see that. Can I cuss, by the way? I don't want you having to bleep like every other word that comes out of my foul mouth.
Good.
So
you're good.
But like we know they're not. But if we were, like you said, when we see them show up in the next movie, we're gonna be hyped. We're gonna be anticipating like, what's their role? Did they expand on the WandaVision role that they played? Are they gonna mention WandaVision? So I mean, right now that all sets up like where'd Vision go?
Yeah, like, he just straight up just dipped.
And he dipped, which he's probably going to have some existential internal monologue crisis of who am I now that I know I'm Vision? What do I do with this knowledge? Am I supposed to go here? Am I supposed to go here? First off, why didn't he change colors like that? Like really threw me off. We're gonna call him albino Vision now.
I know. So, my theory is that he's going to Wakanda because Shuri's the last person to work on him, and
if he gets that memory, he's gonna know. Here's how I get
that
all
emotion
the
back.
Pieces.
Yes,
dude, that's a good idea.
And it just ties it all together again. Those bridges.
We could tie it into Black Panther 2. We could tie it into that's not a bad. And that would actually logistically. So here's the thing: like the show, they leave clues. Like logistically, that would make sense. The only other missing pieces of Vision are in Wakanda. Shuri did it because she had like what was it, like 2 little strands left that were still
very,
attached
very
to
close.
the mind. So, and then she like did something and then slid it aside, like she was saving her stick. And getting it out of the way.
She was like, I gotta attack.
Yeah, exactly. So she bought herself as much time as she could and just fucking get out of the way and then go. So we know in Wakanda she's got the shit and she's back now. The re-snap. So she's back. So we know that she has that. I like that theory because those are the only missing pieces of Vision. As he would seek out what's still missing. I know what's still missing.
And it sets up to her kids are part of Young Avengers. So, and right now they're doing the Hawkeye. So, his daughter's taking over. So you have
got restarted. I don't know how many people realize that or not, but that show was on the kibosh at one point. Like Disney made that announcement. They're like, hey, for the time being, we're just going to pull the plug on this for an undisclosed time. Like they legit pulled the plug on it because he was going through that personal problem or whatever it was. But apparently it got sorted, whatever. I don't know. It's not my business. But when I saw the photos start surfacing of him being on set again and then filming, I'm like, okay, cool. So I guess whatever happened to Disney's liking. That's the only thing I can think of is whatever the outcome was, Disney was like, we're happy with that outcome. We support Jeremy Renner. Let's go ahead and get that ball rolling again because we've already spent a couple million on it. We're not going to waste it. So the Hawkeye for the Young Avengers, I don't like that they didn't go with the actress that they used to play his daughter in Endgame.
That's an odd move for them. They usually stick with their actors and actresses.
Which there's got to be I don't want to be a child actor reason, or I just did this as a one-off because I was friends with, like, how many times have we seen the Russo kids in films? Staring at the camera like this, just Like they just can't, it's like his son just can't. Like at one point he's just gotta be like, dude, dad, just stop putting me. The kids at school keep making fun of me. They're like, oh, look at camera guy. Like I don't want to do it.
The
Dad.
office all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, I like that you understand that they're branching out to other shows. They're setting up these series down the show. I like how they didn't screw with anything having to do with Falcon and Winter though. I like how they made sure that there was a separate entity entirely. It's almost like if Disney could have done this in the first place, we'd have had an Iron Man series, not an Iron Man movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think they would have built Tony Stark up and they would have made a series out of it. They would have had a Captain America series. They would have had to decide on a Hulk, but they could have done Black Widow. Like they could have done all these series and just had a show, and they would cross over into each other's shows. And then every once in a while you would get kicked out some big ass Avengers movie, and then dot. So but unfortunately it didn't exist. You know, Disney was ahead of their time as far as what I'm sure their Imagineers were coming up with, because I doubt Iron Man movie was their first pitch. I really doubt it. I'm hard pressed to think that
wasn't right. They failed a lot.
Oh yeah,
they failed so much where they had to sell off. That's why Spider-Man was in Sony and Fantastic Four and X-Men. I mean,
Marvel was
failed,
on the ropes.
And they didn't know how to do these. Like, what are these characters? What do you mean people would actually watch this in a movie? Like, they just wouldn't get it. You had these old dudes in the corporation making the shots. So like, what's a comic book? They didn't know. And
wrong era.
Yeah. And so they had to fail to get to where they're at. But
how much of that have they gotten back? How much have they actually
almost
bought back? They got a big chunk was Fox.
Big chunk was Fox, which we now know is part of the mutants, which was Stan Lee wanted to call the X-Men the mutants. So they're in honor of Stan Lee, they're calling them the mutants. So we're getting the mutants, which is X-Men.
And that's a placeholder title, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they tried it with the New Mutants and they blew it bad. I don't know what they were thinking with that movie.
Yeah, and I don't think it was under their like Marvel Studios.
No,
now, even Netflix shows like Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jones have expired. The contract has expired, so now Disney could absorb that back. So they gained quite a bit.
They have.
I think they have. It was like I think last month was announced, but the only ones they haven't is Spider-Man, which is big money. So, and they're kind of in agreement right now. I wish it was under one roof. I don't know. We'll see how much Sony's gonna play nice.
Take it from a bigger picture here. Maybe somebody came to the table on Sony's end and said, "Look, we would love to just sell you Spider-Man, but let's look at the bigger picture here." Or somebody on Disney's end said, "Let's look at the bigger picture. We got to find a way to cross these universes over. We got to find a way to bring not Spider-Man into the Sony universe. How do we bring Venom into the Marvel universe?"
Yeah.
And I think with like the supposed, I mean, just the fact that we get Electro and we're going to get Doc Ock, Sam Raimi's Doc Ock, and what's his face's Garfield's Electro. If we're going to get that in the movie. If we're going to get that in the movie as those same characters, then this isn't like assumption time at this point. It's reasonable thought process at this point of why would they do it unless we were going to see some type of a multiverse scenario setting to where you can set stuff like that up. Now, once you get the multiverse thing going, now you can go, okay, cool. Now we gave ourselves at least some doorway of going, how do we bring Venom over into Marvel? How do we bring him over into the MCU and get him there and make him a character? Because you've got Carnage is supposed to be in the next Venom movie.
Hopefully a good Carnage.
Well, if what I saw is correct, which is always bullshit out there, but if I saw is correct, we're set shoots, Harrelson's still playing him. So we're still going to get Woody Harrelson playing Carnage.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is or not.
Yeah.
That's just from, I haven't seen anything like 6 months about it though. This was like stuff that was getting released, like pre-COVID shot stuff that was getting released because people were getting fucking bored. And they wanted to remind people that, hey,
it's still happening. Yeah.
This is still a thing. We're still doing this. It just got kiboshed for a while. So I think, like I said, if Disney had the technology back then, I think we would have had Iron Man series. We would have had, we probably still would have had the same actors. I don't think it would have changed. Maybe it might have changed actors. Maybe they had to get a big name actor.
Tony Stark is pretty expensive now.
Now, and he's dead. So
I know, right? So where do you go from here? The funny thing is, I think WandaVision has permanently put Marvel fans into conspiracy mode, because even the fake titles of like Home Slice and Home. I forget what the other ones
Oh,
were.
dude, I shot one that said something about like something to do with space or something, or and it was green, and I was like, "Are we getting scrolls?" Yeah, Phone Home.
Yeah.
So I knew the name itself was bullshit, but the green title, I was like, "Dude, are we gonna see scrolls like the Scroll Invasion?" But then I saw that they were all bullshit fucking titles, and I was all.
But now the conspiracy is it, or do they represent the multiverse Spider-Man? Because you saw like Tony McGuire's Home Slice, he was a pizza delivery guy. So it's like, is it now part of just being a Marvel fan? Is you're gonna like tweak every little thing that comes out, and it's I love it. I'm here for it.
They've got to explain to it so much, and they know what they're doing to us. Like just what they're giving us, they know exactly what they're doing. Like, but the thing is, though, I want to know what's the end game of it. Like when they were doing so to build the MCU, they introduced the Marvel movies like kind of one at a time. They introduced you to the characters, and then they went big. So the same thing is happening, but in a different sense. So what are they building it towards? Like they sat down and they said, okay, how do we incorporate this? How do we incorporate this? It's like they're coming up with clever ways to look like they're being misleading.
Yeah.
When they're hiding in plain sight. So like when you look at it and go, well, hold on, Home Slice, he did play a pizza guy.
Yeah.
They knew throwing that out there, someone's going to see that and go, well, is that a reference to Tobey Maguire's, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. So how do we throw it out there? And here's the thing is, it's okay. Tinfoil hats on, kids.
Okay.
Pretend it's like Uncle Sam, and that your government is like doing things that they're doing, but they do it in a way to where you look crazy because you're the only one that sees it. Kind of
subliminal messages.
Yeah. So like they know throwing that Home Slice out there, or Phone Home with the green. Maybe we're gonna get something to do with scrolls. And then what was the last one?
Okay, I know phone home, and it was
supposed
all
to be
home something.
Home Slice, we got Phone Home.
I did like the whiteboard where they even put like Home Alone, Home Run, just to add little things like on there.
But so they know you're gonna see that, and you're gonna go, okay, and they're gonna want it out there, but you're gonna look so crazy thinking about it that no one's gonna believe the theory. And then when they finally drop it, everyone's gonna be like, and you're gonna go, I'm a fucking genius.
So it's like, I told you.
Exactly. See, they're nerd ganging up on the normies. So what's happening is those people that don't see it, they're like, don't worry, bro, we got you. Because when we drop that when Captain grabs that fucking hammer, we're gonna pay you off big, and you're gonna look like a genius. So they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so
yeah, that's true too. You had the little wiggle of the hammer, and then when you finally get the payoff, it's 1,000 times fold of when you would never get that beforehand. You just get that, and you're like, yes, I see it. It's there now. You almost don't believe it for a second. Like that is that. Like what? No, he's holding it. He's holding it.
He's got. Oh yeah,
freak out.
Fucking nuts. The theater.
Best moment in the theaters is Endgame. That final fight.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could
watch that fight itself just over.
I did. I recently did
too. Just for Wanda he's gonna catch it. Like he's gonna catch it. You're just like, he's gonna catch it. Oh, he got it. So like you just can't watch it. No, that's why when I fucking tried to avoid so many spoilers for the season finale or the series. I apologize. The series finale. That show's done. That was a one and done. This was
which is wild.
Set you down a path of what's going on next. How do we lead you? Because they gotta give us something. They gotta feed us. Little baby birds. Disney's gotta feed us something. So we're gonna get what is it? We're only getting 6 episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's super expensive. Even WandaVision was $25 million an episode. And,
oh my god!
And they only did 6, I think 6 for Winter Soldier. And
that's
Falcon.
What I'm seeing so far. Is just 6
super
episodes.
Expensive, and it looks like just high octane explosions, action.
Well, now that's just what they're giving away in the trailers, and they know what they're doing. Like they know they're being fourth wall facetious to themselves. Like they're like, "No, you're typical. If it looks really cool in the trailers, it sucks." Go, no, this looking thing's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
because you got so many things to address. So
yeah,
but you got. I mean, I don't want to get too far away from the WandaVision topic. I'll go down a fucking rabbit hole.
I know.
On what we're seeing in Winter Soldier, but so you go. Okay, so she was pulling. In the series finale, I was waiting for like just a big reveal that I think, like you said, we over expected. Right. But in that, we find that she's doing what is it, like the astral plane thing at the end there?
Just like Doctor Strange, and it's actually Doctor Strange's music too, but in a darker
Yeah,
theme. So
yeah.
I was like, that's wild. Like they just mirroring each other, but like it almost makes you want to think like, is WandaVision the big bad after all? Or because in House of M, that was the whole basis of this series. So people were thinking that Wanda takes away mutants. All she says is no more mutants, and boom, all but like 170 mutants survived Wanda's kind of snapping, so to speak. And
Yeah.
that brings a whole storyline that just goes on for such a long time. And so people were researching House of M because they were almost thinking that's going to be like reverse House of M, where instead of no more mutants, she's going to say more mutants
Or
and
she's gonna create
the X
create,
gene.
yeah.
But looking at the series, it was always shown that the X gene was there. So with her backstory of stopping the bomb, she's always had the X gene. And same with Photon.
See, that's where I get a little confused. I saw that too. She like
Mhm.
waved her hands at the bomb, and
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
she
well,
had
hold
it
on.
before the
Well,
stone
there.
affected her powers.
Okay, so couple questions about that. One, are we seeing a true memory? Because remember, some of the memories we've seen
Mm-hmm.
have been, depending on when the memory was flashed back to, different just actors, different looks and stuff. So
Yeah,
like we
and
see,
that's
and so that whole thing that she waved it on, does that cancel out the powers that they were given by the Mind Stone in the Strucker experiments? Because that's how it was explained then, that they
yeah.
survived the experiments and the power was given to them by the Mind Stone then.
So it looks like she's always had it. And if you even compare another mutant, which is a Photon, you could tell that when she got her X-ray, she was like, "Oh yeah, it's messed up," but she never questioned it because it seems like she's always had the powers beforehand, before even walking into the Hex. So the Hex didn't give her the powers of going to WandaVision's or
They
Westview.
just unlocked them or
It
something.
just it just kind of showed them, and so I think it's representing her memories at, like, you see Malcolm in the Middle, which came out in 2000 and she was 8.
Yeah.
So it kind of coincides. I mean, she's about 28, 29 now. Even I think her real age is like 35, but I think she's supposed to portray it's like 28. So I'm thinking X Genes is now canon. People have
something
it
that they're gonna
before.
build in and go, look, here's how we're gonna just do it. We're just gonna say it was there.
This is how the
Yeah.
mutants are going to be part of the show. This is how they're going to show that there are people with superpowers out there, and this is how to explain it. So
because they're gonna have a hard time. They've got a big plate to fill trying to explain how we're gonna get X-Men. Like, I thought they found a really easy way when we saw what's his name. I was like, wow, they did that fucking way easy.
Yeah.
They just said, do it. Oh shit. But here's the thing: is so many people are going, "Oh, you disappointed yourselves. It's on you." Did we really though? Because at the end of the day, they didn't cast that actor and give him not only the powers, but cast that actor in the manner that even if you said it was Agatha giving him the powers because of that bracelet or whatever controlling him, you still could have picked any random actor to play that role.
Exactly.
And confuse even somebody that maybe even looked more like Pietro from the Avengers would have been a better ruse. So to use that actor specifically, like I can see them just throwing
right
it
there.
Yeah, like I can see them throwing it out there and going, "Oh, we just wanted to troll you," but
why? There would be no
in
payoff
22
to that.
films. Yeah, in 22 films, where have we been trolled yet by Disney and Marvel where we haven't been paid off? We haven't even been trolled. Like the Captain America thing, like they showed us that because that shit happens in the comic books. It wasn't something they just made up and they're not making stuff up and throwing it at us. So like for them to do that, there's a bigger picture that the people going, "Oh, you just trolled yourself." You're just not seeing the big picture. You're looking at the movie, not the legacy. It's they brought the actor in for a reason, and then for them to throw out Ralph Boner, again, they're screwing with us on purpose. They're just messing with us.
Oh, I
Disney
see that.
and Marvel like to mess with us and then go, "Aha, but see, you were kind of right. We were going to do it anyway. Here it is." Like now they've got to explain how long have Skrulls been around? How long has Nick Fury been a Skrull? Has he been doing that regularly? How long has he been upstairs? All that stuff. Because at the end, when that chick points up, we clearly already know what she's pointing to. But like, how long has that really been going on? Like he was gone for the blip, so we know he missed 5 years.
Yeah.
So he's really only been back a couple of weeks. So in that small couple of weeks, he managed to get himself on an orbital station around the planet for Sword. Like, remember, he came back from the blip the same time everyone else.
The Skrulls were in Captain Marvel's whole backstory. So, and that was what, 90s? So they've been around for 90s, they've been around for 30 years, and they've been slowly getting into different rankings. So them helping with the aerospace engineering tank they were the ones loyal to Monica's mom.
Yeah, because she started the program.
So,
yeah, so
they've been around for 30 years easily.
But now, who have they been? Are we going to find out that a Skrull died? Are we going to find it? Because there are people going, oh, it can't be a Skrull because when they die, they go back. I go, yeah, but if he fakes his death of Iron Man and convinces everyone he's dead, like, it's doable. Granted, that's a real.
Oh, you're talking about like a Skrull is Tony Stark.
Reach. Yeah, like that's a real
reach.
reach. Yeah. Like Reed Richards won't even reach that far. So what I'm saying is, like, how long now? But they could play with that now. Like, who was a Skrull, who wasn't? Because we know for a fact that happened. We know Skrulls were around and that they assumed identities after the snap. We know they assumed identities. So I'd be interested to see standpoint. Shit, dude, I'm just disappointed that we didn't get a whole series out of Captain America returning the stones. Like, you could have made a whole series out of that
easily.
But they'd have to really sit down and figure out how to explain everything. Yeah, maybe they didn't want to go through the trouble of that. I don't know, but it's easily explained.
And he was already kind of like done with the whole, Captain America, because that is strenuous. I mean, granted, you get paid a lot of money to work out, but that is your whole thing.
Well, it's your life. Yeah.
So,
and it doesn't free you time up to do other roles, like when Chris Evans did the Red Sand Hotel or whatever that was called or something like that.
He did Knives Out too, I think the same time frame too, and that was great. Yeah. I love that. Although it's kind of funny to see him as this rich guy kind of snob, but he's like super like yoked out. It's like you were just playing Captain America.
If you watch those movies, remember they filmed Infinity War and Endgame at the same time. So during those same eras, you got Infinity War Chris Evans because he still had his long hair, and then Knives Out, you get the short hair Chris Evans from Endgame after he cut his hair again. Yeah. So I'm thinking like there's some flow in there, and that's why they all release different times.
Have you seen how they make their movies and their shows, Marvel Studios? It's painfully though. It's crazy because they construct everything almost like a animation of everything. That's why directors almost don't want it, because like, this is how it's going to happen. This is where they're going to stand. This is where they're going to act. And all they have to do is do like, hey, act this scene the way I portray it. And it's completely animated. I forget what it's called. It's super advanced. And from like, you're going to punch the wall down here and you're going to do this, and you just have to act it out. But they have a storyline all the way set up. And the director's like, okay, but I want more action on this scene. We're like, nope. We already got it set up. You just have to make sure that the vibe of what we're trying to tell you is there. Yeah. And that's the reason why they could connect so much from so far away, because they know, okay, we're going to include this detail because in this movie, this is going to happen. And so they plan it way in advance.
Oh, yeah. We got to make sure you get a good close-up of the Tesseract as Loki walks by. Slow the pan, let him see it. Okay, now walk.
Get the taste, and what happened there? And then he's gone. I'm thinking about it. It's all about seed planting with them.
Well, you think that's scary. Here's the thing. Deep fake videos. The technology. Yes. Okay. People are looking at the whole, my identity this, my identity that. Well, imagine being an actor where your whole career has been predicated on this. Now all they have to do is pay you a likeness rights and royalties, and they don't even need you. The CGI technology has now gotten so good that they're just going to plaster your face on the scene and use audio layover. And that's it. They don't even need you. So now they don't even have to pay you that much, because now we don't even need you on set. We just need to pay you the likeness and rights for your face. That's it. And we narrow it down to like this used film only, or we get to do it for 3 Marvel movies, whatever the realities of it is. But it's getting there. Like I'm telling you, actors and their essential need of existence on the screen is going to come to an end soon with like deepfake video stuff. I'm telling you, it's just the technology is good, but people say, oh, well, we're 5 years away or 10 years away. Okay, but we're away from it. We're only getting closer. Like every day that goes by inches us closer to the next or the next robotic dog that will balance itself. Now you just put a machine gun turret on that guy, and now look at what you got. So technology is just.
Well, you could get a comic book reference and make a CGI completely new. Don't even need a real person to reference. You got a comic book reference, and then you don't have to pay an actor for that or actress for that.
Exactly. Yeah. You just CGI that right out the.
I designed it.
Yeah. Totally. I'm telling you, it's just technology is going to make so many things like that obsolete over time.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that guys like, again, tinfoil hat time, guys like Elon Musk warn about with AI and technology and things like that. He's like, we're going too fast.
Oh, yeah.
We're so fast that we can't even slow ourselves down at this point, or we'll trip and fall. Like we've gotten to that point. So
there's a whole TikTok of a deep fake Tom Cruise, and he's like golfing, and he's making him do weird stuff, and he's like, oh, it's a deep fake this whole time. We're like, people are like, wait, that looks too real.
Yeah, or the one with Jim Carrey and Jack Nicholson. When that first dropped and he was reshooting the scene from The Shining, everybody was like, dude, Jim Carrey's the best actor ever. Only he could pull this off. And everyone's like, well, yeah, until you find out that that's fake.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's not, it's just Jim Carrey's face layered over Jack Nicholson's, and the body movement moves like it should. And they're like, no way. And even he was like, yeah, I didn't do that. That was not me. So it's scary, bro. Like it's going to get, okay, here's what's going to happen. It's going to get so bad that video in court is going to go the way of the lie detector. A lie detector test it's long ago can't be used in court. It's not fallible. It's fallible, whatever you want to call it. It's faulty. It has risk. You can beat it.
It's
you
not
can
100%.
cheat. So now when you have people trying to enter video into court as evidence, now you have to prove not only is it what happened, but now you have to prove the video is not tampered with.
Right.
Now you have to prove the video's not guilty just to prove yourself not guilty.
Oh, that's scary. That's like a Black Mirror
that's some Black Mirror shit. Yeah.
I have video evidence this person killed that person, and it was a deep fake the whole time, but you can't tell the difference.
Or that's you no longer have access to the CCTV footage. You now have to get that footage from Uncle Sam himself, and if he doesn't want to give it to you, you're just fucked.
Yeah.
But that video,
there's a Black Mirror episode in there for sure.
Yeah, but that video says I was not there when it happened. They go, yeah, but your social score is too low.
Oh, I know, and that's happening now too.
In China. Yeah, they've been doing that in China. You get a social score. Just look at Yelp, and you really want to tell me that you want to give people a fucking social score that's going to decide their employment, their credit history, and all that because fucking whoever insert fucking name here didn't like you. Like, come
Karen
on.
didn't like that you didn't open the door for her, and people only review 1 or 2 times, something good or something bad. It's never mediocre.
Yeah, again, Black Mirror. I think they actually did an episode on that. Like, there was a point thing. Like, you got rated on. Yeah,
she had to rent a car, and she couldn't have enough gas, and it was all keep going down.
It's coming, bro. It's coming, dude. Everyone, we giggle, we laugh. Like when we were sitting back making memes about coronavirus in 2019, we were like, oh, meme. Reality is the rest of us were going, all right, well, if it's already spread over there, like it's just a matter of time before it gets here, bro. Like it's funny and all, but it's coming. Like the same thing. The advantage we have over technology is going to dissipate sooner than I think we expect. The advantage we have over technology itself is the gap's going to get closed real fast.
Yeah, we need
but we could justify that entire conversation log just because of Vision. We just be like, well, look at Vision.
Circle back.
look what happened to Vision, So, but like I said, with that show, there's just so many loopholes still.
Yeah.
Just look at it. You've got Wu's missing guy. You've got where Vision went, which isn't really an unclosed loophole. It's more of just a question.
It's a cliffhanger.
Because it's a cliffhanger at best. Because it's not like they can't go, we can't explain everything.
Right.
But you guys had like 9 episodes to explain who was Wu's missing guy.
Yeah.
You had 9 episodes to explain, but there's some missing pieces that I feel like
the color too, the color of the helicopter. Like, why was certain things in color at that time?
Well, that was the reality breaching into her world, and her changing it to match her world is all it was. It's a glitch in the Matrix kind of thing, as far as the world she built kind of thing. Because things coming in, she had to deal with it somehow. Her brain subconsciously had to deal with it somehow. So altering it to match her world did it, but it came from a colored world. It was ahead of her time as far as the series went.
Right.
She can only do so much. That's why the people that were on the outer edge of town were frozen. She could only control so much at some time. It's
like Wi-Fi, right? I mean, it's strong in the middle, and as far you go away,
farther away you get
glitching.
From Wanda. Yeah. So, but that brings me back to the point I was trying to make earlier with how she's going to breach it into Doctor Strange. I think with the astral plane stuff, she's going to go looking for the kids. She's going to start jumping 100%. From reality to reality until she's going to do a Rick is what she's going to do. She's going to find the reality that they're in where she's dead. and she's their mom and she's dead. And she's going to insert herself into that reality or pull them from that reality. And Dr. Strange is going to go, hey, you can't do that. You can't pull one from another or send something to another. We fucked up when we let what's-her-face do that with Pietro or whatever. So she's already on Dr. Strange's radar. Now he's just trying to catch up to her and say, look, now you did some weird shit. You fixed it. You whatever. But now you're messing with multiverse. I can't let you do that because now you're going to tear apart the fabric of reality. And now you risk everybody's reality is not just ours and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Which I think the theories are still out there. Like Mephisto's going to be, the main villain. Possibly you don't have the two kids without Mephisto. He's part of the soul goes into those two kids to make them alive. So you can't have one without the other unless they completely change the origin story. So I think a lot of those theories are still alive and well. We just may not see them.
The demon speed comment or whatever that fake Pietro made.
Yeah.
Go demon spawn or hell spawn or whatever. So, I mean, they may tech back to that and go, look, we told you then.
Yeah.
We were just so obvious about it that it just shot over everyone's head. No one's like, nah, it's not that easy. So, but yeah, I would be more like that or Nightmare, but Nightmare doesn't really fit into Wanda's world. It's just a Doctor Strange kind of guy.
Yeah.
So, but it is a Doctor Strange movie.
So still, you still might, like, that's what I'm saying. Those theories are still alive. They just didn't finish. Yeah.
He got cast. The actor that plays Mordo, he's in it. So we know he's going to come back at some point. Maybe he comes back. I think we're going to start to see a theme. Like, okay, so hear me out, right? So you got Mordo coming back who doesn't feel that people should have this magic. There's too many wizards in the world, too many sorcerers. So he's going around taking that magic back, right? He went and did it to that cripple guy and put him, crippled him again, took his magic from him, crippled him. So we know he's going to show up and do something similar, but it's going to be in the sense of too many of you have the magic. I'm going to take it from you. And if that means killing you to do it, so be it. Now, I think you're going to see the pattern. Here's the pattern. Look at Thor, God and Love and Thunder. Gore the God Butcher, his whole existence is going around killing those who are not worthy of the title God. So he's probably going to go after Star-Lord. He's probably going to go after Thor, obviously. Like anybody that deems themselves even remotely God level, his whole being existence is to just kill you because you're not worth it. And so I think we're going to start seeing a pattern of the villain is going to be somebody that's coming in to deem your worthiness of whatever title you have. So for Sorcerer Supreme to stay Sorcerer Supreme, he's going to have to beat Mordo and prove to him that, look, I am deserving of this power. I'm responsible enough. I am worthy. Yeah. And I think that's Mordo's whole trip is there's too many wizards and none of you are fucking worthy of the power you have. You treat it like a plaything, a toy. Right. It's not. It involves life and death. You use energy, it comes from somewhere. Somebody on the other side of the world might die because you used magic. So I think that's going to be where his kick's coming from is the cost of magic. And that there's too many people misusing it at a cost. So that's where I think we'll tie that in. And then he may go after Wanda. I don't know, but he's in it. So we know he's going to pop back in.
She's stronger, supposedly stronger than Doctor Strange. So and that's not even reading the book yet. And then she's reading the book and then she's going to get stronger. So
she's going to learn things like how to use her powers even better. Like, I didn't even think of that. That's
the implications alone.
Remember, each spell is better in the sense of like with fighting.
Yeah.
Okay? Each spell is sense in the better of fighting. Like every time I get better with my jab, I'm improving the jab. The jab is the jab no matter what, but I'm improving my ability to utilize the jab. So her energy expenditure, the way she uses her energy, the better spells she learns costs her less energy. She can now do more. She can expand her Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's how you get
push things. And then she was just wrecking, she was wrecking Thanos.
She was tearing Thanos apart. So, and they talk about it too. They're like, well, she almost killed him. So,
but
we got the payoff of Scarlet Witch. They hinted at it in that like episode 4 or something, 3 or 4. They hinted at it. Like they were like, oh, doesn't she have a nickname? It's like, yo, bro, you know her name. Just fucking say it.
Yeah. We all know it. Just say it.
Yeah, we know.
Make it canon.
We didn't get it till the end though, but they paid off.
Oh yeah. So, huge payoff.
But I'm glad I brought up the analogy, the fighting thing, because that brings up that whole DQ thing.
Yeah. So let's switch gear.
Dude,
it's a big conspiracy. So, let's talk first your background because a lot of people might not know your background, and then we'll get into that question. So, what is your background?
My background is this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wore that totally by chance today.
Yeah, nice.
No, I'm a professional MMA fighter. For those of you that are already watching that don't know, I spent over a decade fighting professional mixed martial arts. I'm not just talking your backyard, barnyard, chicken shack fights. I've been from Fresno to Japan. I've fought for the UFC several times. I've fought for all the big name guys. So I've taken a wealth and of hopeful knowledge and experience, humbling knowledge and experience, because I see a lot of what maybe fans don't see, like the dark stuff. I would say, remember that movie, The Wrestler?
Yes.
Okay, there should be a movie like that for MMA.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would scare a lot of people because you would really see what goes on backstage, the real ins and outs of MMA. So, but I did that and abused myself for over a decade. Got paid very little for my efforts and made my way out. So, but that's where kind of I base my knowledge on for when I do the fighter's voice. That's our thing. Is I've been in the sport for over a decade. I'm literally a professional, or what you can be considered a professor if you were to go to college. 10,000 hours. I spent definitely 10,000 hours. I think I've mastered my craft. So, but I joke about that. We all know there's no mastering martial arts when it comes to that. I got to be cheesy for a sec because I know people are going to watch this and go, Cole, you know better. I do know better. There's no such thing as mastering it. You achieve the goal of hoping to master yourself, and you use the arts in a humbly manner in which to achieve that trail or path or goal. So that being said, who the fuck gives away the belt on a DQ? Come on.
That's it.
Dude.
So recently there was, it should have been one of the biggest cards. It was 3 bouts on one UFC title fight. But one of those title fights, the guy's both knees were down, which is a down fighter. And
okay, so I want to know what instructions Jan was given backstage versus the instructions that the referee in the ring were under the impression. I would like to hear both of their explanations, because if we're not all on the same page, Jan's getting instructions backstage of what a downed opponent is. The referee is getting instructions of what a downed opponent is. Now, if the referee misinterprets the definition of what a downed opponent is, remember they changed that rule a couple years ago.
You should be able to have two both on the knee still, and if you're
the third hand touching down,
it was weird. One knee down, one arm down was a down opponent. But they switched that to 2 knees down.
Now it has to be like both your knees or a knee in your foot or something. Like you have 3 points of contact. You've got your left foot, your right knee, and your right foot. You've got 3 points of contact. 3 points of contact is a downed opponent. 4 points would be also your secondary hand on the ground. You're no longer a downed opponent. That's 4 points of contact. You're basically, you could stand up at that point. Like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I need to, because I saw a video where Jan said, these are the instructions I got. So my corner and ourselves. So, it makes sense. If he had a different set of instructions backstage than the interpretation of what the referee in the ring said, then you've got a conflict of interest, because him and it explained why his corner told him throw the knee. From their point of view, maybe he was a legal knee to be thrown. From Jan's point of view, maybe it was a legal knee to be thrown. People are worried about the intentional, unintentional. Dude, bro, it was intentional. The fuck are you talking about? He didn't throw the knee by accident. He threw it intentionally. The question is, was he a downed opponent or not, based on what the rules criteria meet? So I would love to hear what Josh Thompson and Big John McCarthy were talking about on their show. I got to watch it and see on it's the weigh-ins. I want to see what their thoughts are, because I know that question is going to come up, and John's going to go, well, this is what the current, Nevada State Athletic Commission determines a downed opponent. This is what the UFC determines a downed opponent. So that should be the bigger picture. But the fact that at the end of the day, they made the decision to DQ him tells me that someone above the referee agrees that he was a downed opponent, and that knee resulted in him not being able to continue. And that's where a lot of people get confused too. You got fucking blasted. It's up to you on controversy whether or not you want to feel that he was blasted enough to continue or not, or if you think give him a minute or two and he'll be good, and he just, I don't know. I don't think he did. I think he got blasted really fucking good and was put in a position to where he was told, look, dude, if you're fucking hurt, you're done. That's it. I don't think, because at that point they don't tell him you're getting a DQ win or you're getting the belt if you say you can't fight. That wasn't going through his head. What was going through his, at least I would like to hope that wasn't going through his head. If that was going through his head, I question his fucking integrity entirely, but we don't know that. We don't know what's going on in AJ's head. Only AJ does.
Right.
I do question his character a little though, when you see him boasting with the belt. Like, seriously, bro, I understand his excuse of all my family and friends and this and that. I get that. But at the end of the day, bro, it's your decision. You could have said, guys, no, if you want to take pictures with the belt, knock yourself out. I'm not.
Yeah.
I didn't win it. I didn't beat Jan. Jan
Right.
fucked up and lost his belt. We're gonna run it back and we'll see who really should hold that belt that day. But I'm not posing with it because I didn't win it.
Right.
That's where my beef is, and that's where all my arguments with people. Unfortunately, I fell for the troll factor and argue with people online.
No,
but that's
saw
where
that
it is because like I just don't think belts should change hand on a DQ. Right. Should the champion keep it? Fuck no. You DQ loss, that's on you, bro. You're supposed to know the rules.
100%.
That's part of your job. So
right, either if you didn't know or not.
And you can't even say you didn't. Like you're there for the rules meeting. Like you can't claim lack of knowledge. You just can't. You're a professional.
And the reason that the UFC changed it too was the head movements, right? If you have both your knees down, you could get hit. Your skull has nowhere to go at all. It's same reason for the soccer kicks and Pride. You used to be able to just a soccer kick a dude's head.
Yeah,
it'd be brutal.
Yeah, it was.
It missed somebody up forever. I mean, one of those kicks.
It really could, but at the same time, man, shit was different over there, man.
It was, but
you don't hear anyone bitching about Vale Tudo in Brazil. Anderson said, Vanderlei Silva and Chuck Liddell are getting kneed in the shit and headbutted. You don't hear anybody crying about that.
Yeah, I know, and I think as a sport evolves, you're gonna try to protect your people, your products,
your investments. You're trying to protect
exactly. And the head is the biggest part, right? And so
agreed.
Both knees down, that's a clear sign. I don't think that's ever changed where both knees down wasn't a down opponent.
Yeah, both knees down for sure. You're a down opponent.
And so there's no question. So I don't think the UFC should change the rules on that. The rule should be, and I think we have two parts to this topic. One is, what are the UFC rules? The second part is, how should a fighter react to winning a DQ? I think part of it is, I don't, you as a fighter, if I get kneed with a illegal hit, I did nothing wrong. I win the fight. Should I win the belt for the UFC's rules? I agree with you. I think it should be.
I wouldn't even have left the ring with the belt, but that's just me.
And that's the second part, right? Is the fighter. There's almost unwritten rules in UFC. And that one's kind of a very rare incident, but just like in baseball, if you piss me off, I'm gonna beat you with the pitch, right? It's an unwritten rule. There's something there.
But they've retconned World Series level wins. They've reversed those well after the win was announced and enjoyed and celebrated and all that shit. So even at the World Series of baseball level, they've said, "Oh wait, hold on. Like how long after did the whole fucking radio thing come out?"
But they still
signaling or whatever.
Technically still won. So
but I mean, so but for this particular incident, the way I see it, and I was talking to my boy Casey Olsen about this yesterday at work. We were looking at it this way: you should lose your belt, and you should lose 20% of whatever purse you're getting at that point.
Yeah,
automatically goes to your opponent. Automatically done, goes right.
Fully agree. The so risk you put to someone, the amount. I mean, just the injury alone. Just you knew the rules. It's flat out there. It's a title fight. They're putting you on the main title fight of a huge pay-per-view. I'm sure there's got to be some points involved for pay-per-view buy-ins. I don't know, but I agree. Money talks. You injure me with the DQ. I don't know if I ever would beat you if I was losing, but there's still 5 seconds left. We've both seen fighters just do a Hail Mary knockout and win it. You take that away from the fighter. So I fully agree. Take that belt, you lose money. I think that's for sure.
And nobody should get the belt. You should nobody should leave with that belt. If you win via DQ, all you ever get is win money out of it. That's all you ever get. So to give you the belt, it makes me scratch my head. Why are we giving you the belt? We'll give you win money and maybe we'll even kick you some of his. But why do you get to leave with the belt? You didn't beat your opponent.
Yeah.
This is where everyone gets great on. They're like, oh, but he got DQ. Yeah, he did. It sucks. But like he did not beat Jan.
If anything, there should be a place where if you win through DQ for a championship fight, you should be the next person in line for the next title shot. Now, I don't know if he gets... I forget the champ's name at that time. What's the other dude's name? But I don't know I don't know if he should get an automatic rematch or if they find someone else. But I think
I would be okay with automatic rematch. He made a mistake and fucked up. You've cost him his belt. Like he should at least be the first one to try to earn it back. Like at very least, he should be allowed to earn it back. And that's what I feel. Immediate rematch, even if rematch wasn't in their clause, which it's usually not, immediate run back. Why not?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, at this point, it'll be even a better fight because you guys have now spent 4.5 rounds knowing what each other are capable of. So now you can go back to a whole new drawing board and go, okay, now that we know what we know, here's how we're going to adjust our game plan. Because they're going to do the same thing. They're going to change their game plan based on what they think you know.
Always,
now.
yeah.
But you're going to know things that you can't change. How hard can Jan and AJ hit? How fast are they? Because realistically, let's be honest, at the level they're at, they probably hit as hard and move as fast as they are going to do. That's never going to change for the next year or so until they start on the decline. That's all that's going to happen. Everyone that's at that level is not quite peaked. Maybe they peak after a win and a title defense or two, but like you're going to start to go like this. So they know what each other is capable of on the now.
Yeah.
And the time it's going to take them to have another fight, neither of them are getting stronger. Neither of them are getting faster magically. So we have a chance for a much better fight now, which unfortunately I think the fight will be over sooner now, or we're going to get a really boring fucking decision. But either way, you know.
But how badass would that have been though if Dana White just takes the mic? It's like, we've decided to vacate this belt, and you guys are gonna have to like kind of just not like I hate when we go WWE with UFC, but almost like you guys are gonna have to do a rematch whenever he passes, you know, Doctor Protocol.
If I were Dana White, I would have left everybody hanging. I would have announced the winner via DQ, did their post-fight interviews in the ring with Rogan, and left the fucking ring and had everybody going, well, wait, what about the belt? And then the post-fight press conference, sit down, and everyone's gonna go, Dana White, Dana. He's gonna go, all right. First things fucking first. Belt's vacant.
Yep.
That's all there is to it.
Yep.
Belt's not going to change hands on a DQ. The belt's vacant. AJ, Jan, they're going to run it back immediately as soon as they're ready to do it, medically cleared or whatever it needs. They're running it back. These will be the first two guys to fight for the
belt. Out that like, pay-per-view.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win.
You guys are gonna, oh man, that pay-per-view. I haven't seen one like that since the Jizz P and Shields. Remember that promo where they're walking in the locker room and bumping into each other? It's like, I haven't really felt that much pumping in a while. So I think if he would have done that.
But they kind of fucked AJ. Because think about it. Okay, think about it. I guarantee you, posing with the belt and acting like that, regardless of what his excuse is, I guarantee you he lost fans because of that. The UFC allowing him to leave with the belt, knowing damn well this would happen, cost him fans. It affected his image in a negative manner based on nothing of his own doing, nothing of his own creation or volition.
Yeah.
They gave him the fucking belt and said, you're champ. It was his choice of character to decide to pose with it. So he lost fans because of that.
Oh, yeah.
They created that scenario to happen. They should not have given him the belt because he would have been home and been like, party time. We got DQ'd, whatever. We're going to run it back. Good shit, whatever. We'll get that belt. It's our belt. It's a title defense, not a title win. He can call it whatever he wants at that point still too.
Yeah.
They go, how do you feel about fighting for the vacant belt? Vacant my ass. This is the title defense. Let him claim it if he wants at that point. Let him hype up the fight. It'll do good.
Dude, oh man, yeah, you got shot talk sometimes.
Yeah,
and he could have
like,
just held it out and just point to it like disappointed face or something. Like he could have done 1,000 different kind of poses. I don't care if you want to take some pictures with your family with it, and that's for you guys as a memory. Like he was one time, like I don't know,
But he wasn't. That's the thing. You're creating a fucking bullshit memory. Oh, he was tipping. No, he wasn't.
But
and you know what, AJ.
But he could have done more
somewhere for this too.
He's got to have a PR team with him. Like, hey, you guys need in the face and are still becoming up the loser. Like you're still like that's a double negative for you. So and it doesn't equal to positive. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
negative.
They could have done better on that. And I think it was made. I think the decision on that was made hastily because they'd never experienced that decision before. And I mean, somebody had to have suggested at one time, like, what do we do if we get a DQ win in a title fight? But apparently nobody did. Or they did, and this is their answer, which is a stupid fucking answer, Dana.
Yeah,
Sean, the fuck
they got to change it up. Here's an interesting point that I saw in the comments too. If the DQ rules like stay the same, could a champ then just kick some of the nuts or just leave the octagon and just like disqualification? What the hell's he doing? He's disqualified.
But he loses his belt. I mean, who would want to lose their belt?
But they haven't lost the belt yet.
Purpose. I mean, they took Jan's belt.
That's true. So
they literally awarded it to fucking AJ. Said you're now the champ.
So yeah, that's kind of a moot. Like yeah, so vacate it.
That's what I'm saying is like somebody brought that up too. They're like, oh, well, you're going to have champs that are losing. That are just, I got into an argument with, I won't say who they name because they're actually, I consider them a good buddy, but they're really heavy in the MMA game and they know what they're talking about. But we got into an argument all over the stance that they thought I wanted Jan to keep the belt. And I'm like, no, because he was like, well, then a champ who's losing will just DQ his opponent and take the loss, but keep the belt. And I go, no, that's not the thing. Jan should lose the belt 100%, but nobody should go home with it. Like, the only reason you're getting the win, bro, is because he fucked up. You didn't do anything to cause the win.
Yeah.
That's how I would look at it, is that what did Sterling's direct actions cause him winning the fight? Nothing. It was 100% Peter Yan's actions, be it his fuck up or whatever. It was still because of him that the scenario happened. So you didn't do anything, bro. You didn't like catch him with a lucky haymaker or something where I'd be like, okay, if there was a Carlos Newton, Matt Hughes scenario, all fucking day. And for those of you that don't know the Carlos Newton, Matt Hughes scenario, Carlos Newton had Matt Hughes in a fucking triangle in the championship fight and was choking the fucking hillbilly out of him. Chokes Matt Hughes unconscious. As he chokes Matt Hughes unconscious, Matt Hughes slams Carlos Newton into the canvas, knocking Carlos Newton out, only for the slam to wake Matt Hughes back up and him sit up and look around confused and go, Did I win? Did I win? And they're like, Carlos isn't getting up. You win. So you have a scenario where you're a double knockout. So it's like that Rocky thing, like whoever got up first was the fucking winner kind of thing. Right. So but in this scenario, you don't have that. You have one guy who blasted you with a fucking knee and the guy got himself DQ'd. That would be like, okay, that would be the same thing as having Usain Bolt, you coming in second place to Usain Bolt, only for them to find out that he had steroids. You now get the gold medal. That would make sense.
Yeah.
You would have gotten first place had he not been using steroids.
Right.
And fortunately, in this scenario, you can't claim that. Oh, I was ahead on the cards. Motherfucker, no, you weren't.
No, he was not.
That's you weren't ahead on the cards. And even then, that's subjective. That's whoever's watching the fight and thinks you're winning or not at that point. That's where you could have gone to the cards. Now, if you've gone to the cards on a DQ, why didn't we? Well, it's because it's only 5 rounds.
Yeah.
So it just, I mean, realistically, after round 1, if there's a DQ loss, but here's the thing, if you get DQ'd in the second round, but let's say Jan DQ'd him in the second round, but for some reason, Sterling was just whipping his ass that whole first round. But he blasted him in the face with the knee by accident and gets DQ'd. Sterling gets the belt?
Yeah.
No. That's the problem there. You know what I mean? Like, it was 1 round.
Yeah, that's true.
We got 4. And even the judges are like, you weren't winning that fight. So, but you got one judge that was like, yes, he was. So you have subjective opinions.
So if he was winning,
just vacate it.
So if he was winning, say he was winning all 4 rounds and gets DQ'd.
Now, if you have a unanimous decision at that point, then, like if you have all 3 judges going, at this point in the fight, we had AJ Sterling. We all agree Sterling was winning this fight at this point. We, the judges, boom, fight's over, DQ'd, hand that motherfucker the belt. Because he was clearly on that point. At that point, now you have unarguable facts from the judges themselves judging the fight in case it goes the distance, deciding in agreement that, yes, that guy was winning the fight at that point. Had he not got knocked out or submitted, he would have won that fight. Yeah, but that's not the case there. You didn't have a unanimous. No, you didn't have all 3 judges seeing him winning the fight.
Not even on my card. I thought he was losing the whole time.
If you did, I could see an argument for saying, look, all 3 judges at that point in the fight, title fight, we need 3 rounds or more. Non-title fight, we need at least a round and a half. Yeah. You know what I mean? We need at least 50% of the fight to already be over to have at least an idea of who's winning the fight at that point. And we're going to go with that best case decision because whoever's winning the fight on the cards at that point, if it goes to a decision, most likely will still be winning at that point in theory, based on the math. Yeah. So I'll probably get flack for that, but there's a way to do it. Like there's a fail-safe here. Dana White, tag him. Sean Shelby, tag him. UFC, tag him, guys. You know, like there's a way for them to do it. There's options here now. This unfortunate scenario has created options. What changes do we make? Start using a default system. After half the fight is done, whatever's on the scorecard by a DQ or an accidental injury or something, we go to the cards. Yeah. If it's a title fight, then that title fight changes hands. Because at least at that point, we can argue, well, at that point, bro, you were winning the fight by the judge's decision. It has to be unanimous, though.
Has to be unanimous.
All 3 judges have to agree at that point in the fight.
No split.
We all agree you were winning the fight. No split, no majority, no nothing like that. All 3 agree. If one guy says, no, I had him winning 47-48 right now at this point, they go, okay, you win, but you're winning by DQ, but you don't get the belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there would be a default system in place at least to prevent that, or just make the fucking rule in the event of a DQ, nobody gets the belt. Immediate rematch.
Either way.
The fans win because we get another fight. The fighters win because they get paid again, and the UFC wins because they get another match for another title fight.
Yeah, imagine this being your first view of a pay-per-view fight for UFC. Like, what is that?
So
what is that?
What's this horse?
I would never be a fan again. I was like,
yeah. So, but yeah, it pains me to no end. But it did create options for the UFC to go, different routes for them to pick.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So do you have this on the Fighter's Voice, or did you guys do like full on podcasts about this yet?
We have not talked about this yet. We've been in a little bit. Richard's still been doing it. I've been kind of taking a break on a transition period for some time just to take a breather.
Yeah.
But it's something we would definitely talk about. That's why I haven't really posted anything of like my own personal opinion on it, just because I just haven't had an opportunity to really talk about it. But dude, I was totally down to talk about it. It's like, that was a fucking insane scenario. That was an insane scenario.
And that was only one fight. I mean, we could go on about Nunez being super dominant. We could talk about
at that point. The only thing I could say about the Nunes fight is where do you go from here?
You're gonna have
at this point,
seriously.
Nunes, the only challenge for Nunes is to go up a weight class and be a multi-weight champ. That's it.
Is there a higher weight?
Ooh, a featherweight might be it, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks. That does put the UFC in a pickle. What do you do with a champion nobody can beat?
Promotes
the fuck out of
two
itself,
flyweights at the same time.
Yeah.
What else do you do?
Like,
she just, and it's not even in competition. She just goes like, I think she's way more dominant than Rousey. Rousey had that, judo flip and triangle.
Yeah, but people
Nunez
can give Rousey a run for her money.
Yeah, exactly. Nunez just goes like striking, ground game. It's so high level and it's so balanced. You try to take her down, she has ground game. You try to stand her up, you're gonna get knocked out. Like I don't know where to go. Valentina's the only one.
I don't think, and people are gonna shoot me for this one because I'm so against this idea. But unfortunately, at this point, I really see the only athletic challenge that would be presentable for her that the UFC could realistically offer her anymore, besides just sacrificial suffers, would be like let her fucking fight a dude. Like if there's a dude in the weight class, like in the bantamweights that maybe wants to fight or something, I guess it's so. It would be purely for entertainment purposes, and that's what I don't like. Is
I know you don't like entertainment fights.
I don't like entertainment fights.
I'm about them,
but for challenge purposes, like she's out of challenges, and I guarantee you she'd be down.
It honestly wouldn't even be entertainment to me because it's honestly test of skill, and she has maxed her skill level with both divisions, with any division. I mean, there's no.
Let her just keep destroying people. I guess I don't know. Like.
I honestly
people
think
will line up the fighter. Like all the female division will line up the fighters. There won't be a shortage of opponents. But the thing is, though, there'll be uninteresting fights. And then one of these days, on one magical repeat of fighting the third opponent for the fourth time or something, she'll get some lucky fucking shot in, and that's how it ends the reign. And it's just uneventful at that.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I know you're gonna have like a Chuck Liddell scenario where it's like,
and that's right. No, I don't think
stop.
we'll see that. I think she's a family woman. She's got a baby.
She's got a baby now. Yeah.
So, hey, I just beat your ass. Look at my baby. That was hilarious, by the way. Oh, look
she went into playtime and all that.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
damn.
bro. Dude,
she's knocked out someone in like 5 seconds, and then it's super nice and caring is crazy to see.
So I'll be honest, between me and you, the same thing I think when I see a dude have a kid who's a fighter. All of a sudden he's a father. I'm like, ooh, that's
cowboy.
That's dangerous time now, because your brain changes gears and you don't have no control over it. Your brain changes gears entirely as to what your priorities are.
Yeah.
Even in the slightest, fighting is no longer the priority.
You
know what I mean? Like, well, in my opinion, the priorities should change. Your priorities don't. That's your personal choice. I understand. And I respect your right not to change your priorities. That's your choice. Mine did. I even went through it when I had kids when I was like 19, 20. Like I was way early in my fucking career. Like I was still fighting when my kids were so little. I'm like, they're not even allowed to watch the fights.
Yeah.
Like they're not allowed to watch it until after they know what happened to dad. That's it.
Yeah.
That was the way it went. So, it changes you. And I think Amanda Nunes is no different. She's a human being. She's a mother now. So
she's also taking no damage, virtually no damage, and making a lot of money per fight.
But what could happen at any moment is going to be what runs through her motherhood head, not the fighter head. She's going to go, now she's going to be thinking, I could get dumped on my head at any minute now and leave behind this beautiful little baby.
Yeah. And
it changes people, man.
That's where, hey, if they make her against a male opponent to make that big money, make it a headline pay-per-view. I don't know. I
don't think the UFC would ever did it because
look how long it took Dana just to get women back, women in the MMA.
Yeah, and he straight up said, "We'll never have women in MMA in the UFC." That's
that changed when he made money. Bro. But money talks. Money talks at the end of the day. So I won't say but never happened, but
because here's the thing: you can have women's MMA, and if it goes south, it goes south. It's just women beating each other up. But if you have a man versus female MMA fight and it goes south, that will be a permanent black mark that the UFC will never be able to get away from ever.
Yeah.
They'll never be able to. And plus it sets a precedent for now, do they have to do it forever
all
now?
The time? Right.
Do they have to create an entirely new division now? Now do you have, this will really wet their noodle. Now do you have dudes who identify as women fighting as a female against, you know what I mean? It gets really weird. It gets really weird really fast. And I'm just saying, it opens up a whole can of worms that I know Dana White doesn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because call it what it is. It's just, it opens the door for other questions that he just doesn't want to have to deal with. So,
if I had a lot of money, like tons of money to start my own like MMA organization, I'd almost do it the way wrestling teams are done. You have different weight classes and you can still win your individual fight, but those points add up per team. So you could have, Team Iceman.
IFL kind of did that.
Yeah,
IFL did something similar to that. Yeah, different weight classes, and you get points.
And you know what? Fight. Male, female were perfectly fine when I did wrestling in high school. It was. I'm not sure if they do it in college, but at that level, same weight class. See, I don't know.
I get a conundrum because I agree with you in that sense because it did happen at one point. It was just the wrestling team, but fighting and wrestling are not the same thing.
Right.
Me grabbing you by the back of your head and slamming my fucking knee through your face into your jaw palate, it's not the same thing. Like. You get some Nick Diaz guy where they've got a thicker bone density structure up here. Yeah. He grabs you and he fucking headbutts you.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I've seen him shatter dudes' faces like that. So come on.
But I think either or, I think that would be a really cool organization.
I don't know if cool is the word I would use.
No, not the male female like fighting against each other, but the team aspect of it.
The team aspect.
Yeah, I'd like have like Team Iceman and like Chuck Liddell is like the kind of like spokesperson of this team, and so you get like Iceman like jerseys and as they're walking out, and then it's all about merchandise, right? The biggest organizations sell merchandise. Be careful
though. The UFC might have that concept trademarked.
I don't know. I've never seen a team.
Look at the Ultimate Fighter. You had Team Couture, Team Liddell, Team Koscheck, Team McGregor, all this stuff. So, not to rain on your parade. I'm not trying to rain on your parade.
No, and it doesn't have to be Iceman, but it could be like Team Fire or Team make it freaking XFL type style. You know what I mean? Like
now, my question is, do you get full on team fights?
All at the same time, just charging at each other,
bro.
It'll still be one-on-one, but that would be pretty funny to see. That would be man. Just a heavyweight, just
no, they do it in Russia, bro. It's bad. It's bad, bro. You see dudes get fucked up, like 2 or 3 dudes
like
just
rugby.
pummeling over a guy. Yeah, bro. No, rugby's a love tap compared to this Russian sport, man. This is a death sport.
Yeah. Those fighters would have a short career, though.
They really would. They really would.
That's bare knuckle fighting. I can't get behind it. I can't watch it because it's too.
I can get behind it in the sense that it's another version of combat sports. It existed before mixed martial arts as we know it existed. It existed in gladiator coliseums. It was the original version of boxing. So it's all it is
but for entertainment, not a career. You know what I mean? You can't last years with this.
You can't make a career out of bare knuckle boxing.
It has to be a 1 or 2 off.
You get a couple fights in, maybe a year or 2, but you're not making like a 5-year career out of it. And if you do, you're not fighting regularly.
No, not at all.
So if you fight like 2 or 3 times a year,
yeah, it just the damage of that is just so you increase level. So I mean, that's why they have gloves. That's why they have tape. And they have.
Well, but here's the thing: is the gloves. Okay, so the gloves are really only to protect you as the puncher. The gloves aren't really to protect me because remember,
absolutely not. It's supposed to get impact.
The pressure per square inch.
But I'm talking about like busted knuckles, busted hands. I mean, that's gonna take forever to,
you're gonna break your metacarpals. You're gonna break your knuckle bones. Like it's gonna happen. Like, I mean, that's why I just was like, dude, you get cut real easy.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. Just imagine huge scars. Just like that's just the name of the game with it. And I couldn't. Like,
we're gonna see honestly, bare knuckles here to stay. I think it's gonna stick around.
There's enough fighters. There's enough fighters that want a payday. They can't wait for UFC or Bellator or all these guys because they're making one fight every 6 months to a year, and the rankings aren't shit. You can be the 8th person, and someone who's, big personality is gonna just leapfrog you because they could get more money off it. It happens all the time.
Unfortunately, that's a cause and effect of the entertainment factor. That's why you get guys like Yoel Romero on a 2-fight loss having a title fight.
Yeah,
like you're
Frankie
never,
Edgar.
You're never gonna justify that one to me. No, there's not a person on the planet that can go, "Hey Cole, listen to this theory about why it makes sense." No, motherfucker. 2-fight loss in a row, ding ding, loss, title fight.
Yep.
Fuck out of here. Why even bother winning?
Yeah. I mean, Conor McGregor is probably going to be at 1 in 10 spot as long as he sells enough tickets.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
That poor guy.
Yeah.
That guy got fucking blasted. That
he did.
That was a bad one.
That was one of the worst I've ever seen. That was bad.
Get a whole fight camp bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. That's bad. Like I wouldn't even say, I mean, dude, with a knockout like that, I would consider being done. I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying, me personally, if I took, and I've been knocked out pretty fucking bad, but today knockout like that bad. Oh,
that was bad.
Dude,
that was bad.
You know what?
And he's had enough wars. He's done his time, so to speak. Like he's made.
Yeah, there's
nothing else to prove. Is my thinking of it.
And I get that too. But here's the thing: is do you think it was one of those he got caught because it's time to hang him up? Or do you think it was just he just got fucking caught and it was a bad one? That's all.
Both.
Like that's how I'm looking at it. I think
that's just fate.
I think he just got caught.
Like, breaking down the door. Like I think it's time. I don't know who
else
gonna
fight.
But
do you think he got caught because it's time? Like, do you think he was because he was slower? Or I think
he's always been tiny for his weight class, though. He's always been the tiniest guy in that weight class. Him winning in that weight class has always been just impressive because he's like looking up to these guys who you think you should fall back a weight class because he's just that tiny.
Think about it though. It makes you prime height for that overhand right, bro. Think about it. Anybody you're throwing that overhand right to, it's got to come about a little bit down to meet head level. With Edgar, he fucking swings that thing and it's just going to connect on you on the maximum velocity, the maximum energy inertia point of its swing, and it's going to be all Edgar. That's what I'm saying. Is like, he's impressive. What I'm saying is, I think he actually has an advantage at that weight class, being that smaller guy, because he can just fucking land that Chuck. That's why Chuck Liddell knocked everybody the fuck out, because he found a way to land that Chuck Liddell hand at the right point. It wasn't that he was just super fucking strong. It's that he was a light heavyweight and he knew exactly when to hit you with it.
Yeah,
that's what he knew. He knew exactly when to hit you with it so that he would maximize him. Hackleman was a fucking genius.
I always thought, like, man, he's throwing that so wide, but he just like angled it just perfect where it was just right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Man, just swinging that rope just right, bro. It hurts. But I don't know. I think he did get caught pretty well. It might be time to hang it up. It might. I don't know. I'm not Frankie. The dude's a warrior.
Not getting a title shot, I mean, he's just going to be a gatekeeper now, and that he's reached like another level. Clay Guida. He's going to keep fighting, and they're just going to for what, mid-tier pay-per-view, maybe prelims, maybe as a name to throw out there.
Working his way back up the belt line, I think, are done. I think that I would say, unfortunately, it pains me to say it, which I have no point to say. The guy's legends levels above me in the sport, but I think at this point it would be time to go. If he's comfortable being a gatekeeper, cool. If you like, if you like the challenge of being like, you think you're good enough for the fucking belt? You think you're good enough? Okay, you got to get by me
see
first.
Me,
come see me. If you think you're Mr. fucking badass, come see me, because the rest of them boys are gonna chew you the fuck up. So if he wants to take that role and own it, he could totally own it. It's like, I'm fucking Frankie Edgar. If you want the belt, you have to beat me. Yeah. Like, he's the real title fight. You know what I mean? Like, he could own that role and be like, yeah, you can get to the title through me, but you got to go through me first, homeboy.
Yeah, you want to be top 5?
Exactly.
I'm the answer to that.
I'm number 5. Yeah, exactly.
The answer.
I'm Frankie the answer. Exactly. I'm the answer to your problem, baby. You want the top 5? How do I get into the top 5? Frankie the answer, Edgar. There's your answer, bro. So I could see him owning the fuck out of a gatekeeper role, though.
Yeah.
Because he's good enough to be a good gatekeeper and a challenge for other opponents. But at the same time, when you lose, you're going to lose pretty bad to some guy that's going to walk right through the next 4.
Yeah.
So it's a very high risk scenario that he's in, or maybe even high reward. I don't know. I don't think there's a reward that's going to be high enough for that, but it is what it is. So, but with that said, amigo, my phone's telling me I got 10% battery life left. And I just don't want to let you know, because I don't want to get cut off like mid shit and just have it go, oh yeah, and then the story ended like this, and it just cut out, because then everybody will blame me, and then I don't want to go down like that. But I'm excited to fill it off. I am excited to see what we're going to get with Winter Soldier, dude. I'm super amped. I'm totally down to talk about it with you every fucking week if you want, just to fucking shoot theories and just to listen to your ideas, bro.
I'm working from home, so
yeah, I know.
I'm just here.
Working from home, man. I know everybody's doing it.
This
slowly
is the
but
most
surely
contact
we'll get
I
back.
have.
So
I know I got the first shot, so I'm halfway there.
Totally, I love it. And then I'm super curious to see what happens with this DQ thing, man, because it set a precedence.
Yeah,
the next time it happens, are they going to go the same route? Because I guarantee you, the next guy that gets DQ is going to go, give me my fucking belt. This was a title fight. Give me my belt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to be some lame ass fucking DQ, dude. Something fucking stupid, like an eye poke or something stupid. Groin kick. Don't even get me started on groin kicks, dude. If you get kicked in the groin and you can't handle it, holy shit, it's called a steel tie cup, you fucking pussy. All right. So anyway, dude, bro, I got kicked square in the dick. I pushed Herb out of the way.
Yeah, I know. I seen it. I see it. You practically had his face.
Yeah, dude.
Moved out of the way.
I'm good, bro. I got this. Knock, knock. That's what it's there. That's literally what it's there for.
Nowadays, Herb Dean would have seen you get kicked 5 times and then may have called it.
That
was another thing in the same fight card. Oh, did he stop the fight? Did he not stop the fight?
Yeah.
That's a whole episode right there.
Yeah, those are tricky, man. I don't envy refs, bro.
No, I don't either.
Herb Dean, Frank Trigg, fucking Joey Beltran, all you guys, brother. I don't fucking dude, bro. That's a rough fucking job, dude. Big John, and he started what a real ref should look like. Like he created, like every referee is a liar if they say they don't look at John McCarthy at some point and take something that he did and try to apply it to their own approach to the job.
Yeah.
It's bullshit if you say you don't. That dude is the fucking grandfather of real MMA reffing.
And we react to it in a replay, slowed down. They have to react to it as it's happening.
As it's happening. But at the end of the day, man, you got to remember as a fan, their concern is the safety of the fighters.
Yeah.
Some refs get a little spooked. Maybe they had a bad experience where some dude got fucked up and they should have stopped it sooner than they did. So they're gun shy now.
Yeah.
Or they're listening to the crowd too much. They're afraid they're gonna get yelled at again.
They get this. Oh, was he knocked out? Was he? Oh no, something like no, dude. Just
they're worried about social media.
What's my next move? Yeah, exactly.
Like they're worried about getting fucking castrated online. It's like you know, at some point you got to throw all that out the fucking window and just do your job. Is the fighter safe or not? These are fucking warriors though. At the end of the day, these are warriors. Don't be so scared to let it go for a minute. We know what we got into. We know what we're doing. We trained 8 weeks at a time for this incident alone. We know what we got into.
Yeah.
Like just let me take an extra thump or two. Like, trust me.
Right. Seal the deal. I want to make sure there's no questions.
Because they're the ones where they stop it and people go, "Oh, it was too soon." That motherfucker was rocked and done.
Yeah.
He did him a favor, but there's some
they got
like,
front row tickets. They could see their eyes glazed back. So there's a tell.
But some of them, it's like, it's questionable. Should you not? He catches himself. I've even heard a dude stumbles and catches himself because Herb Dean wants to give everybody as much chances as possible. And I've seen him second guess himself so many times because he goes in for it and he's like, "Oh, no, she's moving.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I've seen him like tiptoe around them to avoid making any contact so they don't stop because he's like, "Oh, that guy got out of it."
Plenty of times. Yeah.
So you got to give him a chance. So
it's tough. Yeah.
For every fight that you say they stopped too soon, man, remember there's 1,000 more that they stopped when they should have that made sure nobody got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's all they're doing, man. That's literally all they're trying to do. They're not there to win money or anything. They're already getting paid. They're doing their job. Yeah. They got front row seats to make sure nobody gets hurt. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate this. Thanks for letting me come on, man. This was fun.
Yeah. Hopefully people get to know you a little bit more. And I know you're going to
if you don't know more about me after the time we spent watching this, man, you weren't paying attention, man.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And to hear your story up and coming Pod Nation and meet and greet, the very first one, I think is pretty cool.
I like it.
Have you on there, meet different indie podcasters. You just have a good time.
I'm just so not even, I wouldn't say impressed or amazed. I love where you've gone from that day in Dethrone to here, because to say I'm impressed or amazed says that I even doubted where you were going to go with it. That's why I was so jazzed to be on that first one, dude, because I was like, yeah, bro, you're going to do this? Bro, you're going to be great on this. You got the great personality for it. So I knew you were going to do something with this way back in the day, and you keep doing something new with it. That's the best part.
Yeah. And it's great just meeting people from all over the world, just having a common interest of podcasts. And that's why I really started this, was just, hey, where's the support system at? I don't get it. I think in my opinion, there's people that have gone too big that like they don't support the people that are starting. And that's what I'm trying to do. Most people here are 1 year, 2 years, maybe three. Three is a veteran, if you had a podcast for 3 years. But
Yeah.
I gotta, that's where it started, was just a support community to help each other out and get each other, known.
And that's what we got with the Fighter's Voice. That's how Rich built it up. He started in over at 1680 over on Olive, and tricked me into coming in. Invited he tricked me. I'm not gonna lie, and he won't lie. We both know goddamn well he tricked me, and he knows it. But he brought me into his passion project on that, and thought it would grow and everything, and we did. And he's grown it. He's changed it. He's altered it. And like I said, I'm looking forward to what's next for it, because he's still doing it. He's still doing it, and we're gonna be doing more stuff.
You guys have an impressive setup too. I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, dude, and it's only gonna get better. The changes Richard's gonna make to the show and the overhaul he's making stuff, trust me, it's only going to get better. Sweet. I really want my green screen. I really want my green screen so I can do the fucking fight picks. That's like my dream thing, because I did it once. Yeah, we pulled it off one time on the show, and it looked
do it on TikTok. They have a free app.
Nah, man, we're gonna do it on the show, and people are gonna view in just to watch my fucking weatherman style podcast picks, bro.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm telling you, because all it takes is 2 TVs and a green screen. Sounds like a Beastie Boys song. I got 2 green screens and a microphone. I'm telling you, bro. 2 TVs and a screen. That's all you need, baby. That's all you need.
There we go.
But yeah,
can't wait for it.
It's just I don't know. I don't want to give away too much. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be good. So if you haven't checked it out yet, guys, it's The Fighter's Voice. We've got a YouTube channel. We've got a podcast. Rich is still doing shows Tuesday night, and he's doing the Kick-Ass podcast on Wednesday night. Both of them, I believe, are still at 6, and you can catch them out on the YouTube channel. So if you get a chance, check it out. Give some feedback. I don't mean good feedback, bad feedback. We can't make the shows better. Nobody can make their shows better unless you give them bad feedback.
Exactly.
Like you don't have to be like hurtful, but like give feedback. To like, hey, I really didn't like this segment. I didn't like the way you guys did this. Love the show though, but just shooting you the feedback as a viewer, didn't care for it too much, because at least that lets us know. You can't just go back and go, oh, you should not do this anymore because I just don't like it. Well, that's fucking.
Wow. If we're gonna change everything for one person, that's gonna be crazy. Yeah. No, I refuse to cater to the minority. So that's just me though. Hey, so, but man, appreciate you bringing me on. And anytime you need me on, or anytime you want to talk real fucking tinfoil hat theories on Winter Soldier or anything Marvel, because it's still out there, it's coming. Yeah, and I'm down, bro. I'm down for it whenever. Sounds good to me.
Cool. All right, amigo. Well, before my phone dies, man, I'm gonna go. I don't want it to shut down on you mid fucking conversation, bro. But again, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, dude, for letting me be part of another part of your project and where you're going with your vision and this stuff, dude. It's awesome because I know it's gonna go somewhere, and I'm really glad that you let me be part of it, man.
Appreciate it, Cole. Thanks so much.
All right, brother.
Talk to you later.
Man. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye, guys.